Welcome back, Patriots, for a Dark MAGA episode. Now, if you're confused, going, I thought this was the Bald Brad Show. No, it ain't. It's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we get rowdy, we get crazy, and you can come in here and pretty much say whatever you want, up to a certain limit. You don't want to get yourself banned. But can I just mention something that it's different? Normally, we drink out of a show mug, but I felt like changing it up and just drinking out of a bottle of water. Now, some of you think, Brad, I thought you were a cheap guy. What are you doing buying water? I just refilled it. Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's refilled. That's coming out of the faucet, folks. You know how we roll here. We drink the muddy coffee and we drink the dirty water. I'm not here to impress anybody. It's Dark MAGA. I'm just here to impress my Lord and Savior. All right, enough of acting weirdo, freaky deaky. Let's get to some of the news on what the heck's going on. By the way, welcome. This is Dark MAGA, meaning a whole different ball game here, folks. Hegseth unveils 10-point military reform plan at Quantico with summit of Trump there. I messed that up. That's my bad. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth presented a 10-point plan to top U.S. military leaders at Marine Corps Base Quantico. Look, for me personally, this was an email. To fly like 800 generals and all these people to say, hey, we want you to update the physical standards. We want to make sure the haircut's trimmed and everybody looks good. I think there was something more to this behind the scenes. I don't want to say it was a cover-up. That's because cover-up sounds like conspiracy theories. I think they all flew to Quantico to get some sort of backdoor meeting in regarding something serious that they don't want us to know about. The reason why is because you don't do something like that. Hey, we're going to let you know we're bringing things back to basic, boys. We want to go ahead and, go ahead and trim up that mustache. We got to make the men and women in uniform look clean. None of this BS standards. Like, come on. I don't know, man. I really don't know. So here's Donald Trump. And people are saying this is fascism. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what fascism looks like, I guess.
That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within.
It's true.
No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. That's what it is.
Trees on the edge of the UVU.
I just realized I'm muted. I'm sorry. I just realized I was muted. That's my bad. Yeah, Brad's talking to himself again. All right, let's backtrack here, okay? My bad. It's been a long day, clearly. What I was saying was So what happens when you have freaking 2 monitors, you're moving things back and forth, stuff gets real. My bad. Yeah, joke's on you guys. I thought I paused the video. How do you know I wasn't just doing that? See, you thought I was muted, but I wasn't. All right, what I was saying is that he's not wrong, that people come here and they're trying to change the culture of this country, and they're just here for the economy. They're not here to assimilate. They're not here to make America great. They're not here to do anything and better this country. They're just merely here to take from the system. Or, I mean, in some ways contribute too if they're legal. That is not my words. Please understand that that's not my opinion. That's not what I think. That is every interview that I keep seeing that question is proposed of, why'd you come here? And they said, oh, for the economy, which was their way of saying a better life. They wanted to get work done. They wanted to send money back to their family, whatever it is. Nothing is I want to take part in the American dream. Let's go to the chat here. It's Dark MAGA. Why not? Why? Simmer down, Karen. I'm sorry. Damn it. I'm trying my best. When was the last time that you all saw, legal or illegal, it doesn't matter, an immigrant just in general say, I'm here for the American dream and I'm here to be an American. I'm not Italian American. I'm not Mexican American. I'm not English American. I'm just an American. I'm here to live the American dream and really buy into what America has to offer. And I want to be a part of making this country and the continuation of this country to be great. I'll be honest. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know. So we're importing all these people to what? What with this country? What are they going to do? Nothing.
Campus.
So sorry, this is the Charlie Kirk thing, my bad. So Charlie Kirk's shooter was using Democratic language because they say this guy's a MAGA supporter. We're going to be jumping around all over the place. I don't really have an agenda today if you haven't caught on.
Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! ! Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement.
Okay, well, that was a big nothing burger. That was everything we just knew. That's my fault.
Casing red.
That's my fault. All right, well, we got that. Then we also have this here. Democrat Oregon Representative Suzanne Bonamicki. I also represent the ICE facility where, yes, there have been mostly peaceful protests. Antifa has taken over outside of the ICE facility in Portland and have attacked law enforcement with explosives, pepper spray, rocks, and bricks. Don't worry, mostly peaceful, though, you guys. Not a big deal. So,
Thanks for having me on. My response is that we don't want military in our city. We don't need military in our city. It has not been requested by our governor.
I'm going to start it over. Okay, everybody. Let's just pretend you didn't see Education and Workforce Committee from this person. If you had to guess with this haircut, no offense to anybody that has a short hair, ladies, but if you just had to guess, there's a common theme. Which career choice do you think she chose? Some of you might have said librarian. It's a good guess. Some of you might have said lesbian dance theory. That's a pretty good one. I would have said education. I don't know what it is, but am I wrong? Liberal. What's your career? Liberal. Jesus. This looks like a teacher. You know what I mean? The teacher that teaches educates you on how to trans yourself, indoctrinates your kids in the school system. We've seen this brand. I know this brand.
or by our mayor, and I'm honored to represent most of downtown Portland, which is...
What is this thing? What the hell is this thing? Remember in today's morning podcast, we talk about insane asylums? And I'm telling you, I know it, that image changed my life. Because I couldn't figure out we used to call these cross-dressers, right? You always see on that show Cops. Whoop, what you want, what you gonna do? Shabby num rum come for you, right? And there's a guy in a big rig coming out because he got pulled over and he's dressed like this. He was a cross-dresser. We judged him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, what a weirdo. He's into some weird stuff, whatever. I'm not here to look at it and dispel anything on him, whatever. The reason why we didn't see all these psychos is because they were locked up in insane asylums, folks. It totally changed my viewpoint. I'm sure we've all wondered, where were all these people in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s? I mean, they were around and they weaved throughout society in their own way. But now they're just amongst us all. Well, no wonder. Because they're fucking in padded rooms for decades. We never saw them because they were never allowed to go outside. And if they were in a courtyard or something, raking leaves that aren't even there. Do you know what I mean? They're out there with a blower, a leaf blower, but they're just blowing grass. There ain't shit there because they're freaking out of their mind. Start blowing the clouds. Oh, look at the clouds are moving. There's no clouds in the sky, you idiot. It's raining.
A thriving city on the rise. And I also represent about almost 2 miles south of Portland, the ICE facility, where, yes, there have been some protests, mostly peaceful protests. If there's somebody who crosses the line, our local law enforcement is right there to handle it. Okay. So I don't know what the president is looking at, but the city is not burning. The city is not war ravaged. We don't want or need military in our city.
Okay. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. Everything's fine. Yeah. Where did we see this before? Oh, that's right. I think it was CNN or MSNBC with the buildings burning. It's mostly peaceful. Everything's fine, except they're assaulting ICE officers, throwing stuff and everything. I mean, there's a guy literally in a wheelchair out here trying to protest. Like, this dude is ready just to get up and start just throwing fists. It's crazy, man. It's wild what's going on. And there's more. Actually, let's see if we got more footage of what's going on in Portland. Un momento, por favor. Actually, I want to see if I can find a longer clip. I have to put my stuff in the dryer. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do errands at the same time. I know. Let's see. I want to see. Hold on. I just found something and I want to watch it. Well, let's go back to this. And then let me go to this. And then thanks for your patience. I appreciate it.
What the fuck? Dude. That's a fucking, is that not a gun?
Yeah, that's a metal gun. That's a pistol. So it's like a 9mm.
It looks like a 9mm. It's like, bro, you don't know from across the street. Shut the fuck up. Like, looks like a 9mm. It's like, how do you know? Hey, it's not 45. How do you know? I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, you know what? Let's go to ChatGPT. I'm not a firearms expert. I want to see if a regular handgun can use rubber bullets. Let's see. Because I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if, say, like a Glock, third G. So it says maybe. But you shouldn't use it unless the rounds in the firearm are explicitly designed for each other. So rubber bullets means different things. For crowd control, police rubber projectiles are large, low velocity rounds fired from shotguns or launchers, not handgun ammo. There you go. Answer the question. Caliber doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So yeah, you're not firing rubber bullets out of that. There you go. Answers my question. See? We all don't know everything. All right, going back. Now, Steven Crowder was on campus, and he used to do this Change My Mind, and he's back, which is great, by the way. So Steven Crowder's back, and I want to see if they actually uploaded it yet. This is what this looks like.
New segment we call Change My Mind.
The whole point of having a government is to trust the government to protect you.
No. Would you like to have a discussion, or would you like to interrupt and be contentious? I'm trying to listen.
That is an act of violence to intentionally misgender someone, yes.
Here we come to the issue. This is something that matters to me, and perhaps not to you, and then that's okay, we can disagree.
And I hope you get the hell off our campus!
People want that to be illegal? It's just someone's opinion.
You can look at Veterans Day or Memorial Day. Well, there are horrible actions that were committed.
Yeah, I feel the same way about those holidays.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Why do you believe in abolishing the police? How would that help Black Americans?
Oh, there's a lot of things. You can start investing in different organizations in mental health.
I think I somewhat changed your mind by accident.
Yeah, by accident.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Feel free to, make your case and change my mind. Even though we disagree, you can sit down, express your point of view, and some people on the left view that in and of itself as adding fuel to the fire. Or can people feel free to sit down and actually discuss their positions?
So I was hoping this would come out today because he was out there doing his thing. Now, let me see if there was a live. Yeah, so he hasn't actually posted it yet. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Change my mind, because I believe he said he stopped doing it because of the threats that were there. And then he came out and was basically saying on his podcast, yo, you want to F around and find out we're all carrying, they'll just shoot you now. So if you, we're on Dark Mag, I could say, if you fuck around with Steven Crowder now and his crew, would not do that. Just don't even do it. If it's considered self-defense, they're going to put you down big time. Well, I know I'm jumping around. I hope you guys are okay with that. I just kind of want to watch a bunch of video clips with my friends, which is all of you. Hopefully you're cool with that. Well, we got this exchange, and I guess it's a heated exchange. All hell breaks loose as Howley ruthlessly confronts ex-Biden advisor over a report here. This is kind of a long clip, and I'm gonna step away just for a moment here at the beginning, but I'll be here in one moment. Let me just change out my stuff. I'll be right back.
Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. Ms. Cook, I want to say thank you especially to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story. And I'm sorry for what you and your family have had to endure. And it's powerful to have you here today. Thank you very much. I want to talk about some of these policies that have gotten to where we are today. Mr. Jackson, if I could just start with you. You were deputy director in the Biden White House for gun violence and a special assistant to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're also affiliated with the Community Justice Action Fund. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm also a survivor of gun violence.
You were their executive director. When was that, the Community Justice Action Fund?
2021 to 2023.
And you're affiliated with them now?
Yes, as executive advisor.
Okay. The Community Justice Action Fund, do you disclose your donors?
Yes.
All of the donors are public?
Yes.
You're funded by the Tides Advocacy Group, among others?
They're a fiscal sponsor.
This is, right.
They handle our HR.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a George Soros funded group?
No.
He's one of the donors?
No.
He's a donor to the Tides Advocacy Group?
Yeah, that's our fiscal sponsor. So they handle our HR, our back office, our operations.
Great. Okay. Great. So in other words,
we're one of 300 organizations.
Right, that they run. You are a subset of them.
Pay them to be a fiscal sponsor.
Well, you are a subset of that organization, which he helps to fund, right? Okay. All right. Just wanted to get a level set here. So I want to ask you about some of the policies that you've advocated, because they're exactly what we see implemented in these blue cities, like defunding the police.
No.
Indeed.
We advocated for
Wait, I haven't asked a question yet. We'll get to. I've got a lot of questions. Believe me, and I'll give you time. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this report that you issued when you were executive director, a policymaker's playbook. And I'll ask you to enter it into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Great.
Without objection.
Thank you. In this report, you advocate, and I quote now, defunding the police because the long-term goal is fundamentally to reimagine how the state serves its citizens in the project of public safety. You go on to say police departments traumatize residents through a destructive cycle of racist over-policing, and the answer is not to add any more money to police budgets. Talk to me about, I mean, why is it that denying policing to the most vulnerable communities is a solution? I know that's what the blue cities are doing, but why is that a good idea?
Well, look, I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement. I mean,
that's what your report says.
Sheriff Mike Sheridan, who taught me how to drive when I was 16 years old.
Wait. Your report, when your executive director said you wanted to defund the police, do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
You're the second senator to bring up an op-ed or
this isn't an op-ed. This is your report, a policymaker's playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities.
Okay.
Community Justice Action Fund, copyright 2023, when you were executive director. Now you say you don't know anything about it. Now you say that you haven't heard of it, just like the Democrats who all of a sudden say, oh, we're all for the police. They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can look at documents or you can look at results.
Question, did you see his face? Watch. He gave a face.
They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Hallie, you dog. He's putting it down.
Look at documents or you can look at
My
results.
question is, do you renounce this report now? You say you no longer agree with this.
And my answer is that I led the efforts to invest $42 billion in law enforcement.
You've advocated defunding the police as executive director of an organization that you still lead and are affiliated with.
Never see me advocate for that directly. What you see me advocate for is a comprehensive approach to reducing violence.
Right, the comprehensive approach is defunding the police, which is what this says.
The entire time.
This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans,
This is so
now you say
typical of what the
police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is you say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in.
Yeah, has anybody ever heard of that before? Conduct a culturally. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this. This is the investment. This is where hard-earned cash is going. Policymakers can support subsidizing the employment of violence interrupter. Come on. Outreach workers and credible messengers on the front lines. Policymakers must pass local policies to fund and work with frontline activists and technical assistance providers to conduct a culturally competent community-wide risk assessment, just as you would for any disease, identifying the most salient risk factors and environmental root causes of gun violence among the communities and individuals most harmed. Identify or acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit. What the hell is that? Hold on. What is two-spirit in the LGBTQ plus community mean? I don't know what that is. Trans and gender non-forming people who are left out of many violence prevention efforts, but the highest risk of being harmed or harmed to themselves. So they completely made this up. They're not at the highest risk of being harmed. Okay, so in the LGBT plus community, two-spirit is a term used by some indigenous North American cultures to describe a person who embodies both masculine and feminine spirits, or who fulfills a traditional third gender or other gender variant role in their community. So basically, this is some pan-indigenous term that describes peoples whose gender, sexuality, and I guess now we're making it spiritual identity, existing outside the Western boundaries, or binaries rather, often with honored cultural, I don't know what the, look, I'm with you. I'm just going to tell ChatGPT, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Can you dumb this down? I'm right. Look, folks, we're learning something new today together. Okay, two-spirit is a word some Native American and First Nation people use for someone who has a both masculine and feminine spirit. Long ago, many tribes had special roles for people like this. They were often respected and seen as having unique gifts. It's not the same as saying gay or trans. It's a cultural and spiritual identity that's tied to indigenous traditions, not just about who you love or how you identify. So you have two people inside you? Is that what it is? This is where we're at, man. This is how crazy our world has gotten. It has been, I guess.
Two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit.
Look, we are not going to discriminate.
What is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit that
what
wants
is
to help us
two-spirit?
prevent violence in
What
our
is
community.
two-spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for two-spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or the
You wrote the
spirit of how that was
report?
written. But what I'm telling you is that what
What is a
advocate for-
two-spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymaker's playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views.
Well,
you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for two-spirit individuals. What is a two-spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing
Oh, no, sir.
violence.
You're looking at somebody who's
You're also
reading you
speaking
your
out
own
against
words, and I'd like to hear an
violence
answer.
programs.
Here's the answer. The answer is you don't have any solutions. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our communities safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it. It's all there in
invested
black and
law
white, and
enforcement.
your
We
record is
invested
there in black and
community-based
white,
solutions.
and it's a disgrace.
We reduced homicides by 31%, and as someone who's been shot and nearly killed, I take offense that you would think that
I
the
take
last
offense
13
that you
years
won't answer my
were not
questions,
focused on
that you
reducing
deny your
violence.
own words, and that you are leading this committee astray. And frankly, sir, your policies are absurd. They're absurd.
I don't think we're getting any place, so let's.
Wow. That's why those hearings are kind of just a joke, is because nothing ever gets shut, or nothing really gets happening. So we got that. Well, the big news too is the government's going to shut down, folks. The government is going to shut down. So let's get to that. Now, as I mentioned, we're all going to go to work tomorrow, unless you're a federal employee. Then maybe not for you, but you get furloughed. You get a nice day off. But it's just nothing's going to happen. We're all going to go to work, and our lives go on, which just goes to show you all this government that we have is absolutely meaningless. So let me get this straight. The government can run on what's called essential. So I can go about my life and not see any of the impact. Now, I know this is anecdotal, but let me ask, is anybody in here going to be directly affected by this shutdown? Because usually the people I've seen around, everybody's just going around their normal business. The local and state would have a bigger impact on you than the federal government would. But I think most people aren't going to really feel the effects of it.
The Schumer shutdown. Unbelievable. 13 times Chuck Schumer has voted for a clean CR. What's that mean? That means this time he's being hypocritical. Once again, making it about President Trump and Republicans, even though he knows deep in his heart that the Schumer shutdown lives again, and that hurts the average American across this country. We're going to have the military without a paycheck. We're going to have people suffering because Chuck Schumer won't do the right thing. Chuck
Schumer. Oh, boy.
Very quickly, Senator, just give us your recent take on this government shutdown, whether it's going to happen, and what you see at stake here.
We're going to have a shutdown because Senator Schumer and the Democrats want one. It will be further evidence that human evolution is a slow process. There's no reason for the shutdown. What we've asked Senator Schumer and his colleagues to approve is what we've approved 15, 20 times, but they want to shut down because the loon wing of the Democratic Party is mad at Chuck and Chuck wants them to love him, so we're going to have a shutdown.
Okay. All right. We will watch it unfold. Thank you very much, Senator.
And I had an update as of, matter of fact, we can get the live updates for you right now. I think it was about 12:40 Eastern Standard Time. Trump said there's going to be a shutdown. So here's the most recent thing I got, which is about 7 minutes ago, was continuing resolution fails 55-45. About an hour ago, this was pinned. We're heading for a shutdown, folks. Unless Congress can pass a stopgap bill to keep the government funded before midnight, non-essential federal services will cease effective at 12:01 a.m. October 1st. If that happens, and it's looking like it will, we'll be here providing updates until things start up again. Follow along. It's going to be fun. Breaking, leader John Thune says Democrats have chosen to shut down the government over a clean, nonpartisan funding bill. We didn't ask Democrats to swallow any new Republican policies. We didn't add partisan riders. We simply asked Democrats to extend existing funding, which I believe was the same funding over I think when they say existing funding, if I have this correctly, they're just talking about extending Biden's funding. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. So Republican goes, hey, let's just do a quick funding bill that will keep things open for a little bit while we get this resolved. Oh, by the way, Democrats, that's going to be what Joe Biden implemented. I'm almost positive. I might be getting this wrong, but I feel very good about that. So maybe somebody could fact check me in real time. Senate fails to pass continuation. This is 15 minutes ago. The Senate failed to pass a bill that would avert a government shutdown on Tuesday night. Both parties are pointing blame at each other, which is typical. We've seen that time and time again. Ahead of the vote floor, Senate Majority Leader John Thune said Democrats are rejecting a clean, nonpartisan funding extension, which is what I've heard as well. While Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called the bill totally partisan and said it does nothing to solve the biggest healthcare crisis in America. Well, if they're taking the funding or the ideas of Joe Biden administration and just moving forward with it, isn't that them blaming themselves for the biggest healthcare crisis in America? Does nothing to resolve the healthcare crisis in this country. By the way, they had all three branches of government for the first 2 years of the Biden administration, did absolutely nothing. I want to point that out. And also, we were told that the Obamacare was going to be the next great thing in this country, things we've never seen before. It's going to be incredible. And it's turned out to be an absolute disaster. And we're just supposed to pretend like it's good. We're supposed to pretend all these things. Really, really wild. So most likely the government is going to shut down, folks. This is what they're also saying here.
Well, the radical wing of the Democrat Party demanded that Chuck Schumer shut down the government, and he did that today. What that radical wing had told him to do was work with them through his war room. He had a war room going for the last 8 weeks to orchestrate the shutdown. But the cracks in the Democrats are already showing. When we had a vote on our proposal to keep the government open, the clean CR, right before the recess, we had 1 Democrat vote. Tonight, we had 3. So the cracks are beginning to show there is bipartisan support for keeping the government open, in spite of the fact that Chuck Schumer is forcing a government shutdown, regardless of the cost, regardless of the consequences to the American people. This truly is a Democrat-owned, Chuck Schumer-owned shutdown. There's no negotiation. It's a shakedown when he asked for $1 trillion for 4 weeks. It's absurd. We're happy to see that the Democrats are already starting to break from him, and we're going to continue to offer a clean CR on the floor of the Senate to open the government for the next 7 weeks, which is what this calls for.
$1 trillion every month? The government wants this. So I know that's just for 4 weeks, keep things going. Is that really where we're at now, folks? We're spending $1 trillion every 4 weeks. I don't get it. So we have here shutdowns add drama, but historically stocks don't really care. So S&P 500 performance during and after government shutdowns. So it looks like a Democrat House has a kind of the majority of the shutdowns here, if I have this correct. So, yeesh. Look at Reagan. Oh, boy. Boy. Well, pretty much nothing's changed with the stock market. So people are going to lose their minds. Everything's going to be burnt down. Everything's it's out of control. What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. That's what. Absolutely nothing, because nothing ever happens with it. All righty, we got other news here for all of you folks. A little bit of updates. Where was it? Let me find it. So this happened where Utah University building evacuated due to suspicious device ahead of Turning Point USA event. Authorities issued an emergency evacuation order at Utah State University in Logan, Utah on Tuesday after a suspicious device was found just hours before the Turning Point USA event was scheduled to take place. Co-founder Charlie Kirk was supposed to speak at the event at Utah State before he was assassinated while speaking to students at Utah Valley University on September 10th. The event is the first that Turning Point has hosted in the state since the assassination at Utah State University. It's around 120 miles north. So it looks like suited up and walking the perimeter now as students wait outside. Yeah, they got the bomb squad guy out there.
So I was just in class, biological anthropology. We were just watching a documentary about chimpanzees, and then...
You hear what the guy's saying? He's a biological anthropologist, and they were watching a documentary on chimpanzees in college.
Some guy didn't recognize came in and whispered to her teacher, and then she was basically like, okay, you guys gotta go out now.
You're watching videos in college. I mean, literally, college is high school, you guys. That's all it is now. It's such a joke. I'm not saying there aren't hard majors. There are. There absolutely are. But this is where things are at. It's crazy. So it appears the device has been detonated by the bomb squad. Is there anything... Oops, sorry. Is there anything in here that actually says what it was? Let's see. I don't see anything that says what it was, but it looks like it was blown up. All clear, blah, blah, blah. Fire in the hole 3 times. So they didn't actually say what it was. Oh, that's a nothing burger. Could have blown up somebody's backpack. You don't even know what's inside it. We have updates on Trump's groundbreaking Gaza plan. So we have on Monday, yesterday, Benjamin, I can't even talk today. Like I said, it's been a long day. Met with longtime Prime Minister. Jesus, can we start over again, folks? Can we break? Hold on 1 second. All right, we're back with the Bald Brad Show. On Monday, Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met for a long time before actually going out and doing a full press conference where they unveiled President Trump's peace plan, which has been signed on to by Israel, the United States, Qatar, and all regional players. So everybody's behind this whole thing. What's nice about this is it's literally up to Hamas, and everybody's agreed to this, meaning if Hamas doesn't agree, they're going to get their shit pushed in by Israel. And by the way, everybody's on board with it. Good luck, Hamas, because at this point, if everybody agrees to this, like, this looks good, we're all in agreement, and you dumbasses don't agree to it, you're fucked. I hate to cuss, but it's true. So Hamas has not accepted this deal yet, but the deal totally changes the game. Why? Because if everybody's on the same... I'm telling you, I hand to God, I don't read ahead. This is I might as well have written the damn thing myself. Because if everybody's on the same page, but Hamas, that means that Hamas is totally isolated. And Hamas has relied on the kindness of strangers. Hamas has relied on their entire war on having the public relations of Qatar on its side, of having other countries in the Middle East on its side, and having the Europeans on its side. Well, what happens when that all goes away? Because your asses don't want to, I don't know, come to a peace deal, but you say you do, right? We want peace. We want to be able to control our own state. We want to have Palestinian state. Bro, you've had a Palestinian state for literally like 2005. Okay, I understand. You may not agree that it was a state. You had your own territory. You were given billions of dollars, and it still looked rough. It still looked rough. So clearly there's an ideology. There's something going on in that area where you can't take the billions of dollars and upgrade it. Why? Because you had terrorists running the show. That's the why. Okay. When you get a bunch of people that want to commit a bunch of crime and do a bunch of evil and heinous things, well, that's what you get. By the way, You get that in dilapidated areas in America as well. It's a cultural thing. When you get a bunch of people that want to go loot stores, they want to have a high crime ridden area, they'd rather kill each other over a piece of cement and some graffiti on a wall rather than buying into a system and moving out of the area or contributing to society in a morale way. They'd rather kill each other than actually benefit. I don't know, maybe go mow a lawn for a day, your neighbor's lawn. Nope, you'd rather kill each other. Gotcha. It's a cultural problem. They don't want to actually make anything better. They'd rather just bitch, moan, and complain why everything's so worse around them rather than, again, making it better. So rather than, I don't know, in gang-ridden areas, you walk in the streets, why don't you clean up the street of which you're supposedly taking control over and make it look nice? Has anybody ever wondered that? You know what I mean? And you got all these gangbangers out there that are walking the streets with all these firearms, selling dope and drugs every which way, but then the whole area of which they're protecting is like dog shit. It would, I don't mean to be an asshole, it would actually make more sense to me if they protected the area, right? That's what gangs do. Mafia did the same thing. But then actually made it nice. It would make, I mean, you're living there. Wouldn't you want to upgrade the area of which you're living and you're protecting? The cement's all busted up. The grass is overgrown. It's chain link fence everywhere. Like, does that make, am I missing something here? I asked a gang member one time when I was really young, a gang member, I said, you know, why are you going to risk your life over a piece of cement that you don't even own? Couldn't answer the question. I'll never forget. I think I was in a life science class, 9th grade. But now President Trump has now done something incredible. He has put together a deal that is workable, a deal that has now been signed off by the Israelis and everybody else in the region. Even the Europeans had signed off on it, meaning Hamas, what are you going to do? So some points regarding the deal. Here we go. This is what I wanted to know. I want to know the nitty gritty, what the hell's going on here. Maybe you do as well. So let's get to the parts of the deal. Gaza will be a de-radicalized, terror-free zone that does not pose a threat to its neighbors. Gee, sounds pretty nice, but don't worry, Hamas wants that because they're terrorists. They want a terror zone. That's more of a goal than it is an actual plan. Whether that goal is achieved depends on whether the rest of the plan is actually achieved. They have 72 hours of Israel publicly accepting this agreement. All hostages, alive and deceased, will be returned. So that is to prevent Hamas from basically dragging out this process. If we get to 73 hours and Hamas has not handed over hostages, Israel will have every right and capacity to go on. And I think I think based on this, it's their way of showing the entire world that Hamas does not want to make a deal, that they're the ones that want this to go further. And it's not going to be good, man. It really isn't. I mean, Israel is really going to go in there and tear shit up. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. And I don't want that to happen. Hamas does. Once all hostages are released, so you got 72 hours, you got to release the hostages. And when you release the hostages, then Israel released 250 life sentence prisoners plus 1,700 Gazans who were detained after October 7th, 2023, including all women and children detained in that context. For every Israeli hostage who remains are released, Israel released the remains of 15 deceased Gazans. This sort of math makes me insane. It has always made me insane. It's ridiculous for any Western country to trade live terrorists for hostages. And I actually agree with that. When I was reading that, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of odd. Entry of distribution in aid in the Gaza Strip will proceed without interference from the two parties throughout the United Nations and its agencies. We'll actually see if that happens or not, but it'd be nice to get some food in further with people. You know what I mean? There's people starving over there. They can't get water. I mean, the place is a fucking parking lot, right? You got to help these people because there's some innocent people in there that don't want that. It's not everybody in there's all against Israel and pro-Palestine over there. They're just like trying to live. You know what I mean? Again, not everybody's Hamas. And the Red Crescent, in addition to other international institutions not associated in any manner with either party, opening the Rafah crossing in both directions will be subject to the same mechanism implemented under 19th January 2025 agreement. I'm going to say this again. I've said this in the past. Let me know, you guys in the chat. Don't you guys find it a little odd that the countries surrounding Palestine, in air quotes, don't take in any Palestinian refugees? Do you guys, you know what I mean? Like, they all follow the same faith and they're not willing to take in any refugees. Trump had to beg them to take children, sick children. Just, I mean, it's a little weird. That's all I'm saying. A little weird, a little odd. Wouldn't you kind of like second guess yourself of like, weird, a little weird, huh? So all these countries don't like Israel. Okay, got it. Hey, I get it. I understand the argument, by the way. I totally get it. But then you're pro-Palestine. They're pro-Palestine. They don't like Israel. But you don't even want to take any, not a single, not uno, not even one, Palestinian refugee. No countries in the area, not even a single one. You guys find that odd? You want to know why? Do you want to know why they don't? I'll tell you what they said versus what I think. They said it's not right to take in a refugee because if you take in a refugee, then you displaced people from their homeland. And that people shouldn't have to flee their homeland. They shouldn't have to seek refuge. They should be able to stay in their homeland. That's what they said. I forgot what guy said that from what country. Watched it like 2 days ago. Do you want to know what I think? I think these countries don't know who the fuck are terrorists or not, and they're afraid that shit's going to come back to blow them up, you know? I could be wrong. Just my thoughts. What else would it be? Why else don't you think they want to take them in? Because Jordan and Egypt have taken them in, and the Palestinians tried to overthrow their government. Oh. So they have tried to take them in before. You mean they're trying to change their culture, basically? I get you. Okay. Huh. Well, let's get some food in there for these people. And by the way, where's China at on this? You guys notice it? Where's India, China, like going, hey, we're gonna bring in we're just gonna fly a bunch of food over the air and just drop it. I've seen other countries do it. I'm just saying it's always like, oh, America has to drop all this food. The United Nations, like, why can't you just fly your own assets over there? This should be a sticking point. Again, Israel is giving a lot on this. The United Nations has been and will continue to be a tool for terrorism. It always has been. It will continue to be. We'll see. All right, here's the other one. Gaza will be governed under the temporary transitional governance of technocratic apolitical Palestine committee responsible for delivering the day-to-day running of public services and municipalities for people in Gaza. It's basically just like a local government. This committee will be made up of qualified Palestinians and international experts. I don't know what qualified means. We'll see. With oversight and supervision by a new international body, which I believe Donald Trump's going to be the head of. The Board of Peace is what it's called, which will be headed and chaired by President Donald Trump. There we go. With other members and heads of state to be announced. Interesting that Tony Blair is back, former prime minister. I remember, and I could be wrong, but in my memory, Tony Blair was really beloved by a lot of Americans. I believe he had a good relationship with Americans and between us and the UK. So it's nice to see him in the mix, but we'll see. I was young when he was around, so I could be wrong on that one. This is Israel's guarantee against the possibility that Hamas immediately reconstitutes and that the aid that flows in is somehow handed over directly to a reconstituted Hamas by another name. Isn't that what we said that they do? We said that this morning, that a lot of these terror groups just switch the names and no longer they're Hamas, no longer they Antifa, they go by something else. You can't do anything about it because that group name is not known as a terrorist organization anymore. In reality, it has to be run by Tony Blair with input from the United States because the reality is that they are not a whole hell of a lot of Palestinian moderates. Well, especially, I wonder why. You just push their shit in, so they're not going to like you very much. According to the Trump plan, this body will set the framework and handle the funding for the redevelopment of Gaza until such time as a Palestinian Authority has completed its reform program, as outlined in various proposals, including President Trump's peace plan in 2020 and the Saudi-French proposal, and can securely and effectively take back control of Gaza. This body will call on best international standards to create modern and efficient governance and serves the people of Gaza, and it's conducive to attracting investment. I mean, we're going to find out this week if Trump has this thing going. So if Trump gets this and Trump is literally the leader of this peace plan, then that's pretty incredible. The guy will have solved in a matter of 8 months. He's solving a war every month. In 8 months, the guy will have solved 8 wars. Incredible. Incredible. I mean, I'll be damned. What can't Trump do? Trump's making the world safe again. He's making America safe again by utilizing the National Guard to go into the cities because they don't want to do their own damn job. The politicians there don't want to do their job. So he's going in, cleaning it up, and now he's doing it all around the world. I mean, the guy is the greatest president that's ever happened in our lifetime. Unbelievable. I love it. I absolutely love it. All righty, what else do we have? Let's see here. Is there any breaking news, folks? It feels like a little slow news day. Let me hear. I want the, let's see if I can find it. Go back to some video clips here for all of us. Here's Chuck Schumer on the House floor. So Crying Chuck says the poll is biased. So I guess there's a poll out. This is the poll. Excuse me. And then we'll watch the video. The New York Times and Siena poll. It's the New York Times poll, folks. This thing ain't leaning right, let me tell you. What's going on, his servant? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Hopefully everything's well. Views on whether the Democrats should or should not shut down the government if their demands are not met. So views on whether the Democrats should or shouldn't. So should shut down the government was 27 and shouldn't is 65%. And here we go. So this is the makeup. Democrats 47, almost split perfectly, 47-43. So 47% of Democrats say the government should shut down. And then 43 says it should not. Independents is 32. Look at Republicans. Views on whether Democrats should shut down the government if their demands are not met, 5%, and then 92. Damn. So let's see what Crying Schumer has to say.
Now, I know the leader is going to show a poll that says that Democrats will be blamed for the shutdown. There are many more polls that show Republicans are blamed. The question in that poll is biased. Biased. In the New York Times, but it's biased.
What bias?
Turn the That's true. I don't always believe the New York Times. You can be sure of that. Neither do you.
Crazy.
Okay. Now, I know
I mean, an audible laugh because it is that much of a joke.
Times, but it's biased. In the New York Times, but it's biased. If you turn the
I mean, it's literally laughable. It would be like him saying, oh, CNN is biased towards Republicans. Really? What? Or MSNBC, oh, they're biased towards Republicans. Like, this is how silly we've gotten. I mean, he really looked stupid there. God, I really wish we had term limits, man. I really did. So this is what Jeff was talking about in the chat when I was talking about the government shutdown. Reminder, did our job in passing the clean, nonpartisan CR. Tonight, government funding runs out. Democrats want to shut down the American government, hurting American citizens so that they can give free taxpayer-funded benefits to non-Americans. So Democrats are demanding free taxpayer-funded health care for illegal aliens or they will shut down the government. By the way, I've heard this time and time again, by the way. They're willing to shut down the government. Your money that you don't have anything of, they would rather spend your money on other people than you guys. I've said this. Do you want to know why you're struggling? Do you want to know why housing's so expensive and that you're competing for housing and rent and all this other stuff? Because the demand is so high and the supply is so low. And that is because you have 25 million illegal aliens in this country competing for everything that you are. Can you imagine if there wasn't 25 million people in this country, how different things would be? And Democrats would go, who's going to pick your food? Who's going to clean your toilet? I'll clean my own damn toilet. And as far as picking my food, there's a lot of people out there. Maybe, like I said, we can get the youth out there to start doing a little bit of hard labor and contributing to society. And maybe their asses wouldn't come out so fucking woke thinking that they're a woman when in actuality they're a man. Maybe a little bit of hard work will show them, oh crap, gee, yeah, my balls are hitting the leaves as I'm trying to pick a bunch of fruit. Hell, I don't know. That's and by the way, if we're having to break the law to get people to pick our food, we got a lot bigger problems in this country. So we got that going on. A shutdown falls. And by the way, all that's going to do is increase the demand for automation. A lot of this stuff is going to be done by robots the next 10, 15 years anyways. So there's only so much life to be had in terms of these jobs of picking fruit. There's a lot of these jobs where the damn thing does it itself. Well, how do we, let's just go. Let's just see. Let's just do this. This is picking broccoli. Look at that. Gee, going to be out of a job soon, huh? Doing a pretty damn good job, by the way, and going a lot faster. Look at that. And you see how it's taking photos? It's actually picking the ones that it's supposed to. A robot identifies and harvests ripe broccoli. Look at that. Huh, it's great. By the way, you get these things big, they'll pay for themselves. You don't have to pay nothing. It'll just do it itself. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Look at this thing. Look at this. Again, Thomas Sowell has always talked about this. Now, I understand illegal immigrants picking vegetables or fruit or whatever aren't exactly getting paid minimum wage, but the end result of minimum wage is always going to be zero. You will always be out of a job because you're going to price yourself out of the market. That's what's going to happen because people will invest in something that, hey, somebody got harmed on there. Oh, no lawsuit. Cool. We just have a robot do it. You think the robot's going to sue you? And it's probably picking things that are more ripe and can understand it better than a human can. Yeah. Incredible. Isn't that incredible? This is a Pollo farm. The world's first robotic vertical farm is a cranking out green at Whole Foods like a cyberpunk. So it's at Whole Foods stores with fresh.
Would you trust these robots to grow your salad?
Yep.
Well, if you live in Phoenix, Arizona, they may already. Operating like a Rubik Cube, Apollo Farm is the world's first robotic vertical farm, and it's currently supplying Phoenix's Whole Food stores with fresh greens. Developed by tech company AutoStore and agricultural tech startup 1.1, the modular vertical farm uses robotic movements to grow crops indoors. Its creators claim that the technology helps reduce water use by 95% and cuts the time needed to grow crops in half compared to greenhouse-ran fields.
Why? Why would it cut it? So, not only is it environmentally friendly, which the Democrats love, but it also goes faster. Huh? Unbelievable, isn't it? Isn't it?
With no need for soil, plants in Apollo Farm grow from seed to harvest in just 15 days, thanks to precision-controlled hydroponics, LED lighting, and robotic intelligence. Here's how it works. The farm itself is designed to move like a Rubik's Cube. Each different block has its own color. In the farm, these blocks are called bins, and they house different plants. Using modular technology and wheels, robots move these bins around to help plants adjust their position and ensure that each individual crop receives the exact climate conditions, nutrients, and light it needs to grow. And the nutrients? The vertically raised plants don't need soil, as Apollo uses hydroponic growing systems. This means that the plants grow in the bins within a closed-loop system where water is recirculated to reduce water consumption. On average, U.S. food travels around 1,500 miles before it reaches the table. From the farm, the food is usually shipped to distribution centers, which send it to supermarkets where it's bought by consumers. One way to reduce...
In short, they're going to be out of a job. Farmers are going to... look at this thing! Look at it's picking apples or something. I don't know what the hell is peaches, something like that. It looks like peaches, maybe apples, peaches. I can't see. I mean, this is where this is only going to get cheaper. It's only going to be more cost effective. Again, remember, you don't have to pay for labor. This thing will pay for its damn self in a year, maybe or less. You don't have to pay for insurance. You don't have to worry about any liability. It's going to pick it faster. It's going to pick it cleaner. I mean, this is, like I said, it's going to happen to the point where these things are going to be so efficient. What are they going to say? Oh, well, we need illegals. Why? You got a Tesla robot cleaning the hotels for free. So this whole idea of like, oh, who's going to pick our food? Who's going to do this? They ain't going to have anybody picking your food. So we're going to be robots doing it. Oh, who's going to do all these factory jobs? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's odd. Wait, that's weird. Oh, that's right. Robots are going to... Gotcha. What's the next one? Oh, gee, how are we going to harvest all this stuff? Oh, wait, a robot's going to do it. That's right. My bad. Okay, what's another one? Oh, it works. It works 24/7, even at night? Oh, wow. Incredible. Oh, it works at night. Oh, gee. Huh. Okay, well, we'll see how long that lasts. So I've gathered more information about this Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show. A lot of people are really into this, folks, but I guess we have here conservative critics like Benny Johnson and Robbie Starbuck condemned it over Bad Bunny's past criticisms of Donald Trump and immigration policies, prompting boycott calls. I don't think somebody shouldn't be able to perform at the the Super Bowl because of their political beliefs. I've never really had an appetite for that. I'm somebody that can watch a performance or a movie or a TV show and separate somebody's political viewpoints from who their character is supposed to be and their performance. So there's a lot of things that Michael Jackson said and did that I'm not really on board for, but I really enjoyed watching him perform, and I still enjoy his music. Now, I don't speak Spanish like whatsoever other than saying hola and como estás. So I don't know if he's going to have an all Spanish performance. That part would be really weird to me. Like, I think there should be pushback because it's an American football and it's the Super Bowl. So I don't know, because it says this is the first all Spanish language performance in the Super Bowl. So I think they're doing this because if you look at this, they're aiming at expanding the league's Latino audience following at 20% viewership surge with Shakira. So it's just a money grab, which kind of sucks because, again, I get it as a capitalist, is that they're trying to expand it because that's more money, right? But I don't know if I'll check it out if I'm watching the Super Bowl. I'll check it out to see, but if it's in Spanish, there's no point in me watching. I can't even understand it. So we have that there for you. But I'm telling you, football's getting big, man. I've been watching a lot of football, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of football. And by the way, you should tune in this season as well. So football fanatics, a lot of my friends are watching this. I'm getting tuned in as well. So this is something that I'm going to be getting. Are you ready for some primetime NFL action? It's going on. Tune into Westwood One for all this gridiron glory that you crave. I mean, the hits this year have been incredible. The pace of these games have been incredible. And you're going to be watching all of this with primetime NFL, baby, with Westwood One. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays, these guys are moving fast, beating each other up. It's incredible. Don't miss a moment of this excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. They have primo quality, by the way, over at Westwood One, I got to say. You can listen to the NFL on NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports, meaning you can get great quality streams, great camera angles. The audio is incredible by going and looking at Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One, man. And I'm telling you what, this is the place to get the games because these guys know what they're doing over there. Go ahead and check it out. They are sponsoring this podcast. Appreciate them. And by the way, appreciate the good football that we've been getting this season. Heck yeah. Who you guys rooting for, by the way? Who should we expect to see in the Super Bowl this year? Because let's see the standings really quick. I've been trying to watch a little bit more. I just clicked to the NHL. My bad. NFL. Here we go. Let's see what the standings are. Come on. Come on, bottom up. All right, standings. Here we go. So Buffalo for the AFC East, Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts. The Chargers are doing well. Look at the Chiefs, man. 2-2. What happened? What happened to the Chiefs here? They're supposed to be good. Eagles, huh? Oh, I heard some people talking about the Eagles. Broncos. Okay, let's see. Pat says the Broncos. All right, where's the Broncos at here, Pat? Oh, this is we want the West. Where are they at, Pat? Show me. Where's the Broncos? Where the hell are these guys? Where's Denver? Let's see, I don't know if there we go. Really, Pat? Really? Denver? They got like a I don't know how they do this. Look at that. What are you talking about? Come on. What is this? Who else we got? Eagles will be here again. I mean, the Eagles are looking good. I mean, 4-0. How many games are in the NFL total? Is it 17? They do 17 weeks? I've not watched football since Seattle won the Super Bowl, and then it was spotty. That's a long time ago. Real long time ago. I don't know what's going on there. All righty. Well, folks, we're going to end it there. I appreciate everybody checking out the podcast. It's nice to spend time with y'all. I got to say, I've been having a great time. I haven't watched football since Kaepernick. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about Kaepernick. He's a forgettable guy with his fro. That's all I remember. The pig socks. Yeah, that was a big hit on football. We'll see. 17 games. So they do play 17 games. Well, they got till February to figure it out. So we'll see what goes on here. Dan from Washington State. At least our NFL team is decent. Go Seahawks. Well, a lot of sports people in here. That's kind of cool. He was refusing to play in the U.S., but he is all in for playing when it's the Super Bowl, big money and a lot of coverage. Yeah, like I get it. If they're trying to reach a whole new audience, and that's the whole goal, it just kind of sucks. I don't know if that's the Latino audience in America, which I would understand trying to reach them. I don't know if this, because this is broadcast around the world, so I don't know if they're trying to reach entire other countries. Not sure, but doesn't really matter what I think. They're going to do it anyways. And like I said, he has a big following. I don't know much about the guy, but drives my wife nuts. She'll start watching, and then I'm going to tell her not a chance. Turn off the Deegan show. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Krager's having a sidebar conversation. All righty. Well, we'll be back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of the Ball Up Brad Show, where we cover all the major news headlines you need to know about. Reminder, folks, the government shuts down soon. The government is shutting down in like 4 hours. So I expect to wake up at 6 a.m. and have no federal government anymore. And as a fiscal conservative and a socially liberal, got no problems with it. Fine with me. I mean, I'll skip in the work tomorrow. Saving money. So have a blessed evening, you guys. Stay safe. Pray for this country. I love hanging out with you guys. I really do. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for each other, by the way. Some people have sick family members. Some people are sick themselves. Power of prayer is effective. And by the way, can somebody reach out to Dizzy? Make sure Dizzy's okay. I haven't heard from that man in a while. We miss Dizzy over here. So make sure Dizzy's doing okay. Miss the man. And I'll reach out to him myself as well over TikTok. I'll see you guys later. Peace.